Hey guys, so I am pregnant again. Wow, this has been quite the wild ride, getting pregnant again after 2 miscarriages. I am going to share with you guys my first 11 weeks because I guess I'll be 12 weeks tomorrow. So it has been a roller coaster of emotions and lots of symptoms to share. I've had bleeding, I've had cramping, I've had lots of other symptoms. So let me start by saying, if you're squeamish or you don't want to hear about cervical mucus or things like that, then please don't watch this video. Like, maybe grandpa, you probably shouldn't watch this video. Like, this is for other mamas who have gone through similar situations, especially for mamas who think they might be pregnant after having miscarriages. So if that is you, then keep watching. If not, then maybe you should click off and just wait for my next video. Okay, so I have really been kind of waiting to talk about this, and I almost feel like I would jinx it if I did a video on it earlier, so I'm sorry for those of you who have been kind of wondering and waiting. But I don't know, when I had my first miscarriage in last October, I announced at 9.5 weeks, and I was like, I did a cute announcement video with the kids, and I started doing my pregnancy updates each week, and I told everyone, and just, I don't know, it's a silly, irrational thing, but I felt like for some reason this time around I wanted to just keep it to myself with Jason, and kind of just keep it on the down low. I knew that if I had another miscarriage, I would be making a video about that, and I knew I would eventually talk about it, but I don't know, you guys, for some reason it just felt right to just keep it on the down low at the beginning, so that's what I did. Whew. Okay, so I'm gonna be 12 weeks tomorrow, and I've had 3 ultrasounds so far in this pregnancy. I found out that I was pregnant at 4 weeks, so right at my missed period. I did have some implantation bleeding, just a little bit of spotting, which, if you don't know, implantation bleeding will happen right around when your period is due, so sometimes you can mistake that for your period. But this was clearly not my period, and I kind of knew it was implantation bleeding. And my earliest symptoms were sore breasts. That was the biggest indicator. I tried to keep track of if I had any symptoms before that time, and honestly, you guys, I've been trying for a year now almost, and so I've been tracking my earliest symptoms, and honestly I feel like it's all BS, at least for me. Symptoms before the day or two before your period is due to come, I feel like those aren't true symptoms, and it's just I don't know. I convinced myself that I was pregnant quite a few times based off of my early symptoms that I wrote down, and I was like, oh, this must be a symptom, this must be it, and it wasn't. So I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not gonna try to tell you guys I had super early symptoms, because I didn't. And so my earliest symptom was sore breast, and that was right around when my period was due, right around when I got my positive test. This positive test was very positive. That makes sense. It was a very dark line right away compared to my last pregnancy test when I had my miscarriage at 6 weeks. That line was very faint. This line was distinctive and strong. So yeah, and then I've had, at 6 weeks and 7 weeks, I had bleeding. So I would call it spotting, except it was again, TMI, stop watching if you don't want to talk about blood. Okay. The first time it happened, it was kind of a gush. Just one, and it was a small gush, and it covered that much of my panty liner, about that much. I do have a picture, but I don't think I'm going to put it in the video. I don't know. I'm tentative to put bloody pictures in the video, but it was like that much blood on my panty liner, and it was almost like a purpley, like, and it was a fluidy blood. It wasn't like, you know, spotting is like kind of like, I imagine it as like darker, kind of brownish and just like a little tiny bit. This was more. And so I'm gonna probably cry from the emotions of that, but I was pretty convinced that that was it. Like, I was miscarrying again, and that there was something wrong with me, and that like we were not going to be able to have our third baby. So I was putting the kids to bed when that happened, when I felt that happen. And when I came out and checked and saw, I sat with Jason in the living room and just cried and cried and cried. And it was kind of like that, trying to come to terms with the fact that we weren't going to have another baby. We kind of decided that this was our last try. Like, we weren't going to just keep going and keep trying after this. So this was like, we have two beautiful, healthy kids. Like, this is our last go at it. So yeah, I like thought I was miscarrying, and then no more blood. Like, not even a little bit after that, it completely stopped. So my midwife is awesome. And hold on, I need to breathe because I'm starting to sweat and I'm starting to cry here. Yeah, so my midwife is awesome. She brought me in, she took my HCG levels, she took my progesterone levels, and they all were normal. And I also got in the next day for an ultrasound, and there was a heartbeat. There was a heartbeat. I have a clip I'll put in here, but it wasn't dead. It was alive, had a heartbeat. Everything seemed okay. And it was actually bigger, larger than, you know, it should have been based on when my last period was. So that was really encouraging. And then a couple days later, like maybe 5 or 6 days later, the same thing happened. It was like this gush of blood. And, you know, not like a ton, but like that much of my underwear was filled with blood. And it was like, what is going on? I didn't get as upset this time because I was like, oh, this is the same thing that happened. Like, maybe it's okay. Maybe it's normal. Had another miscarriage. So it was like miscarriage a week later, and baby was okay. Baby had a heartbeat. I was like, this is like a freaking roller coaster. Like, what is going on? This is just too much for me. Emotionally, it was just like, what is going on? So, I don't know. We did, I think I had like a little more spotting after that. We did a pelvic exam. We like tested my urine. We did like a vaginal swab to see like if there was bacteria. My midwife looked at my cervix, and she did say that my cervix looked, I can't remember the word she used. I'll put it up here. But like basically sensitive. Like, it looked like it could have been cervical bleeding, which is okay. Like, cervical bleeding, like your cervix can just be easily irritated and it can bleed a little bit, and that's okay for the baby. I had another ultrasound at 9.5 weeks, or 9 weeks, and it measured larger again. So it measured like 10 weeks in one day. So, and I saw it move, you guys. Like, seeing that little blob moving around, it was like the best thing ever. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, it's alive, it's moving. Like, this is like, I can't even believe this. I'm still pregnant right now. I have not bled since that like 7.5 week bleed. Luckily, I've had a little bit of cramping. My nausea has been intense since like week 6. Like, I've had pretty bad unsettled, I haven't vomited, but I've had really just this unsettled feeling like completely all day long. You know that feeling if you've been pregnant, it's like you have to eat every like hour and a half or something, or even more. You just have to like get these little tiny snacks, and you can't eat too much, or you feel like bloated and like heartburn, and because the progesterone in your system makes like your your intestines just get like sloppy and they can't like move food through. So then if you eat too much, you feel really yucky too. Constipation, I've had like been waffling between constipation and the other version, the opposite of that. Lots of symptoms and just like a roller coaster of emotions. Since I haven't bled in a while and I had that ultrasound that showed the baby moving, I felt a lot better and more confident. We decided to tell the boys because I don't know, we did decide that like this was our last try, and Charlie, my eldest, he like keeps asking when he's gonna get a baby brother or sister. Ever since the first miscarriage, he's been asking about that, and so we thought that we should just tell him. So I think it was like after that ultrasound when we saw the baby move, we told them about it so that they knew, and we told them like, hey, we hope that this baby lives, we hope this baby's okay, but you know, sometimes babies die and we're just gonna be hopeful. And we have something to tell you.
What?
Do you know how I've been like kind of feeling yucky lately?
Yeah.
Do you know why?
Why?
There's a baby in my belly. Again. It's really small still, so we don't know if it's gonna be okay or not, but we're hoping it's gonna be okay this time. Yeah, be gentle with mama.
Let's see if I can hear the baby's heart. I think it's gonna be a sister.
Is that your guess?
Yep.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Noah, I have something to tell you. Kind of a secret that Daddy and I were keeping, and we want to tell you. Can I tell you? Come here. Ready?
Mom has a baby in her belly. So you have to be gentle on Mom, because she has a baby in her belly. What?
I have a baby in my belly.
A baby in...
Just a little teensy tiny one, this big. It's not big yet. That's why you have to be gentle.
Oh my God, it hurt something.
Charlie's been talking to my belly. He's been like, I'm gonna tell you all about dragons. He's like, Mom, did the baby move when I said that? I'm like, but I can't really feel it yet, but I think so. So yeah, anyway, that's where I'm at. I am pregnant and I hope that this one sticks. I just got a blood draw last week to get the NIPT test, which is like a test for Down syndrome and some of the trisomies that babies can have. It's actually cool. It's not covered by all insurance because I'm old. I'm going to be 35 when I give birth. Hopefully when I give birth. It will be covered by my insurance because I'm old. I'm like a, what do they call it? Geriatric pregnancy or whatever. But it's a maternal blood test, and they can actually find trace DNA from the baby in your blood. So they can test those things, and they can also tell you the sex of the baby. So we are going to find out if it's a boy or girl like any day now. So that's really exciting. One thing I wanted to mention that I've done differently this pregnancy, being older, my midwife and I consulted an OBGYN as well. They both recommend that I take a baby aspirin every day while trying to conceive. So that's like an 81 milligram little tiny baby aspirin. That's just because I'm older. And the other thing that I have done, and I started this on the day that I found out I was pregnant, was I've been taking a 200 milligram progesterone. And that's intravaginally. So every night I will take one of those 200 milligram progesterones. And I don't know if it's helped. You guys, my progesterone levels were fine when we checked them, but like at this point, I'm not going to stop doing it just in case it is making a difference. I really, truly don't think it is. I'm not sure the baby aspirin's making a difference. Like, part of me just feels like those miscarriages were chance, and this one is going to be okay based off of chance as well. You know, like, I don't think that they're making a difference, but I did want to tell you about those because, like, it is something that I'm doing differently and I don't know if it's helping or not. So the baby aspirin and the progesterone, and those were both prescribed to me by my midwife, as well as the OBGYN said they would prescribe those as well. I have another ultrasound this coming Friday. It's the Neuqual Translucency ultrasound, which again, it measures the back of baby's neck. That space there, it can tell you about Down syndrome and other things. So we're just doing all the tests that we can. And I hope, fingers crossed, like, I feel like this is this big threshold we have to get through, this first trimester thing, and get through all these tests. And hopefully we have a healthy baby in there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. Let me know what kind of videos you want from someone who has just had 2 miscarriages to now is pregnant. Yeah, I really appreciate all of you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys. All right, I'm gonna attempt to do a bump shot for you guys. There's not really a bump, but we got kind of, I feel like this was my mom tum ever since having Noah, my second child. I feel like I've just had like kind of a belly that pops out ever since then, but this is my preggo belly. It might be slightly bigger than normal. This is also like the end of the day, so, but yeah, there's a baby in there. This is also just mom tum. All right, guys, bye.